Monday through Friday, 340-473-4896 or 340-332-3557. Right? Alma's Taxi Service and Alma's variety of natural products. She has some excellent powdered incense there. I get that. Also, we have Queen Bee, and I'll let
Yes, Queen Bee's Grocery and Kitchen. So it's not just groceries alone. You can get all kind of items from the other islands. Cocoa, spice, nutmegs, arrowroot, and down island home remedies and more. And they also have a kitchen. Breakfast and lunch is served, and that begins 7 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. And the store closes at 8 p.m. They're located at 954 Williams the Light. So again, it's more than a grocery store. There's a kitchen, and definitely be sure to call in advance if you want to reserve some food. 340-226-3795. Again, 340-226-3795. They're located at 954 Williams the Light, and right to the top.
Right there at the light, near the light, right there.
Check
a
them
family
out.
business. It's so warm when you go in there. You know, definitely family business.
Yeah.
They're local. And then we have
a Nubian Sun Gathering.
A Nubian Sun, yes.
Yes.
Specializing in preventive illness systems, right? Through a system that we call natural therapy, using 7 healing arts, right? Which consist of herbology, nutrition, water healing, color healing, drama, dance, and massage. Drama, dance, and meditation. And then massage separately. And then spiritual development. You know, spiritual development by the elementals. Studying the elements that our bodies makes up our body, that makes up the universe and the cosmos, right? The more we have information on these 7 healing arts, it becomes, you put it in your life, and it becomes a preventive illness system. And we like to deal with self-development in that approach, from that approach, right? The number is 340, of course, area code 340-227-7412. And we're open Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 11 to 7, and by special appointment. So call me, 340-227-7412, and we can talk about some of your health challenges, health issues, and the future. I like to talk about the future.
Sure.
You know, into development, you know.
Well, I'm going to add that you do have a couple programs that you run in a Nubian Sun Gathering and meditation sessions, and I've been a part of a couple of the meditation sessions, and I would suggest that those who are interested, at least, you know, they make contact with you, so at least they could put down their name and phone number, and I'm sure they will definitely benefit being involved in meditation sessions. So that's in the future too, because in order for that to take place, people need to be involved. Yes. So definitely, I know I've benefited in participating in a couple of the sessions and like others. So yeah, so a lot is happening in a Nubian Sun Gathering. It is holistic approach that's that you use, and system-wise, we need to know, especially when it comes to our indigenous systems.
Right.
So yeah.
And that's exactly where it came from. It came developing from the my indigenous tribal connections, you know, with Choctaw and Cherokee, as well as my indigenous relationships with the Sudan and Ghana. Those are the places that my genetic pattern says I come from. Right. So, but in those places, we know that tremendous amount of history and tremendous amount of liberation was developed just through the monuments that were left in the Sudan, what they call the Sudan, you know, and Ghana, you know, Kwame Nkrumah, the heritage that he brought and the consciousness that he brought, you know, plus the indigenous and the West, you know, that where monuments actually started in the West and was carried to the East. And so the point is that we all have monuments of indigenous history encoded in our DNA. And as we develop and as we learn about ourselves, as we put in preventive illness systems that teach you about yourself, then, you know, we can recover and uncover, recover and uncover who you really are, so that our families can be stronger, so that our community can be stronger and move forward, because we have a lot to do here in Caribbean and with Africa and with all over the world.
We surely do.
You know? So,
we do.
A Nubian Sun Gathering is about what I just described, and yes, we are doing meditation and you know, a little yoga and, you know, conversation about higher mind. You know, exploring the higher mind, and you know, we have 4 inner senses that we really need to practice in developing, as well as perfecting our outer senses. Right. So.
Yeah. Most definitely. So yeah. So do contact Olu, and at least let your interest be known.
Yes.
And
Today is the 9th. Right, I was so corrected by, and Miss Uta Reed has, from the African House Club, right?
Yeah, May's calendar.
Download this newspaper. But yes, the May calendar.
Provided by UCA Africa House Club. And definitely, as was mentioned, in Uta, and she's actually listed in the month of May. So she's down here.
Right, 31st.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wonderful. On the 10th, Judith Jamison, born 1943, a dancer, choreographer, artist, director of Alvin Ailey's Dance Theater. Mm-hmm. Judith Jamison, wow, because I know she, another pioneer, another giant pioneer with Alvin Ailey, and what he began to bring from Africa and the rhythms and the dances that he was able to introduce into the States. It's very, very powerful. She was born on the 10th of May. And you know who else was born on the 10th of May?
Who else?
Oh, no. That's the 10th of June. Anyway, there are other people that, you know, let's see. We go back to the 6th of May, Martin Delany, 1812 to 1885. Father of the black nationalism, right? Abolitionist, activist, physician, Martin Delany, a very powerful giant, a giant during that time. 1885 during this time, or just before 1886, right? For the yes, there's a number of things here. You know, we're so grateful that you know, Malcolm X has a birthday coming up on the 19th. Malcolm El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. 1925 to 1965, freedom fighter, orator, human rights leader, and founder of the Organization of African American Unity. That is very important. Also, our local establishment, UCA, M20, right, May 20th. United Caribbean Association started in St. Croix and I believe it was Mario and Blaze and Feather and Voila came on. But I know those three right there were key in the development of Yucca M20 and the celebration of Yucca M20. We used to celebrate every year, so hopefully.
Well, it's celebrated every year in different ways, so we shall see how this
goes,
this one goes. But definitely, when you get the newspaper on that page, the calendar, May's calendar, there's a section in which, if you read through the calendar, there is this section that deals with games. So fill in the missing letters, and the first two persons who found the answers will win a prize from us. So send your answers to umojacaribbeanunion@gmail.com or text 1-857-240-2854 and participate in learning. Okay, so again, thank you, Africa House Club and Mama Uta, for doing what you have been doing for all these years.
Yes, so much, so powerful. So. Community announcements. Crucian Dialogues, written by Mario C. Moorhead, is now available on Amazon or contact 340-277-7485. That's locally 340-277-7485. Crucian Dialogues, a masterpiece of a book, not only a book, a history book, a consciousness raising tool, also it's art. You know, it's what do you call it? Not art. Literature. The literature that's engulfed in this book. Everyone needs to have this book. Please check it out. Go on Amazon, order it, or call locally. Again, 340-277-7485. The Crucian Dialogues, written by Mario C. Moorhead. And what else do we have here? Community announcements.
Well, we have since I started, Afrofusion Sweat Session, and you can check Create Your Own Reality Dance Project on Facebook. That is with Aoife, and get your sweat session going on. But definitely you want to plug in with her so you can know what the schedules look like, so that you can participate in the sweat sessions.
I would be kind of anxious. So when this, the lockdown, it's kind of like a lockdown, is over, because she was just starting the actual dance classes or sweat session classes, right? Just as we were beginning this pandemic lockdown. So when it's over, I'll be glad to participate in. I'm anxious kind of to participate in that. The virtual is a little more difficult for me, but the actual participation in the physical dance and sweat part, I like that.
Yeah, and I was fortunate before this thing went down, took into effect as far as the pandemic situation, to participate in it, so I know what you mean. I'm doing it with her right there. It's very, it's a good vibe.
Yeah,
good energy.
Good vibe.
And we do have, it's a request, support having VI and Caribbean history taught in our schools. And this is the effort that Mario Moorhead and others, Brother R,
and
Peggy Moorhead, and everyone who support having our history be taught in our schools.
Yes.
So there is a need to raise funds so that they could secure an attorney to represent us all, this push again in the court. So please send your check or money order and make it to Mario Moorhead. As Moorhead is Moorhead. And in the memo part, you want to write Act 4844. Again, memo part, put Act 4844. Mail it to Mario Moorhead, Post Office Box 187, Frederiksted, VI 00841.
Right. Very important. Very important that we all take part, you know. Says a family or a government is actually run like a family, a large family. And if we don't take part in the community development of our family, we're raising our children to be headaches, or we're raising our children to be resistance against what the norm is, or resistance against what the community is accepting as the normal, you know. So it's important to be involved in the community. This is one of the ways. This is one of the ways, by sending your resources and your ideas even, you know, to Post Office Box 187, Frederiksted, right, in care of Mario Moorhead, supporting the Caribbean history in our schools, being taught in our schools.
Also, for community announcement, Virgin Islands Partners for Healthy Communities, LTRG, St. Croix, is putting it out there. So if you are still recovering from Hurricane Maria and need help with restoring your home, please contact 340-713-8083. Again, 340-713-8083.
Yes.
We got some health tips.
Health tips. You know, change is a very important part of our lives, because everything is about change. I mean, you look up in the sky and at night you see all those stars, and you might even see some moving stars flashing, you know, some shooting stars as they call them, actually. Particles coming to Earth, meteors coming to Earth. So, also internal change. You know, we're developing all the time. Cells are changing every 20 to 28 days or so. And so, when you change, it's hard.
Changing is hard?
Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes you get stuck in a rut, and when life shows you need to change, there's resistance, and that's the hard part I'm talking about. There's resistance there. But we know that honesty is the foundation of change. And if you are not honest with yourself, if you are not truthful to yourself, then you're just fooling yourself about change, really, you know. And because we're all responsible for our own behavior and our thoughts, because our thoughts can become real things.
Oh, most definitely. So be careful what you put in your thoughts.
Thoughts can be blessings, or they can be very challenging. I'll say it like that, right? So, we know that a lot of times you get information and you want to change, but there's something that holds you back until life hits you with that little extra something, the little extra painful something that says, you know what, this is the end. And in therapy and drug rehabilitation centers, they call it like you fall off the wagon, right? You fell off the wagon. When you fell off the wagon, you hit the ground, the concrete, the cement, right? That wakes you up. So people don't change because they have the information, see the light. They change because they feel the heat.
So also feeling the heat is being forced?
Being forced.
Being
definitely.
forced.
Definitely, forced.
So if you're not going to change willingly, then you're going to be forced to change.
Life will show you to change. They'll send the ancestors, and the energy will send people into your path. They'll send situations into your life where you make choices and it's detrimental to your progress, right? So change is definitely a process. It's not an immediate event. Usually it doesn't happen like that, but steps and stages. Just like all parts of our growth are steps and stages, you know. So, 4 basic principles of change. Honesty is the only policy. People are responsible for their behavior. Take full responsibility for your thoughts, for your behavior, for your actions, and for what you say. Right, Olu? I'm talking to you. People don't change because they feel the heat. See the light? They change because they feel the heat. Right? Things aren't going your way right like that, so hey, it's time to change. Right? And the last one, change is a process. Don't beat yourself up because you didn't smoke. You said you were going to stop smoking tomorrow, and when the next day came,
you're still smoking?
Still smoking. But at least cut back. You know, start making movement toward the goal. And when you do that, you get more motivation.
So,
right?
In other words, take little steps to reach that goal.
The ancestors said...
In some cases, you have to take little steps.
That's right.
So gradually, you will reach your goal.
Little by little, the bird builds its nest, right? And one day it's complete. And the little ones are safe, right?
Indeed.
So, yes.
What else do you have to offer with health tips that are shared here in the newspaper?
Oh, yes. Right. There are certain herbs, the study of herbs is really a study of foods. Herbs are high specialized, high energy foods that do special things in our bodies. Designed from the Creator. The Creator designed the law, and the law put into motion these particular botanicals that really assimilate into our life and make us better. We've lost through so-called civilization and technology. We've lost a number of things, material technology, because we've lost some of the natural technology that was been handed down from our ancestors and from even our DNA, Shalima, that we can go into meditation, and if you really want an answer, it will be shown to you. You'll get a sign, and then another sign, and then revelation will come. And so I'm saying that if you study, say for instance, like we have in the paper today, aloes. Most people are familiar with aloes. And aloes is something that we have, as Caribbean people and as indigenous people, we have placed it in our lives, and it's served us so well. But not only can you use it topically, externally, because most people know about bruises and cuts and burns, but you can also use it internally. If you take 20 ounces of pineapple juice and a full 12-inch aloes, and scrape out the inside, put it in the blender with the with the pineapple juice, blend it up, right, so it's smooth, strain it, drink it. You can drink it maybe an hour and a half before bed, or you can drink it maybe just at sundown. And you'll be surprised the kind of elimination that you'll have. And why elimination? Because elimination cleans the seat of disease. The seat of disease is the large intestine, the colon. And that's where all the bacteria can filter back into our systems. So keeping that clean is so important. Aloes is one of the perfect ones to do that. As well as Cascara sagrada, right? And people have been aware since Sebi and a number of herbalists have come and talked about Cascara sagrada. But it's an ancient remedy that comes from Mexico, actually. Comes from the ancient indigenous people in Mexico. I'm sure in the Mayan and the Aztec and even further back, that they were using this particular plant. It's a little bush. It grows about 4 feet high, but it's the root and the bark of the root that makes it so clean, cleaning the liver and the colon, right? And you use it as a tincture, or you can extract it. Extract is excellent, right? And then, so the sacred bark, Cascara sagrada, that's what it's called. The sacred bark is translated as that. Sacred because when you clean the colon, all the other senses, your eyes, your ears, your nose, even your throat, on the large intestines, not the transverse, the ascending colon, right? Then there's the transverse colon and then the descending colon, right? But the ascending colon, right there on the ascending colon, is where your eyes, your nose, your smell, your taste, and your hearing, all those senses are lined right there. And so when you clean that, it actually helps to clean your senses too. So the colon is very, very important. Everything is interconnected in the 7 systems in the body. And so when you start to use Cascara sagrada, aloes, and even comfrey root and comfrey leaf as cleansers, then you get the benefit of high specialized food cleansing. Right? Very safe, no side effects. There's no side effects when the total assimilation into your body and your bloodstream. There's no side effects. So your immune system stays healthy, and certainly that these days and times, Shalima, we need to keep our immune system kind of healthy because we're under attack, Jack, and it's going to get worse, and we're going to get better.
And we will get better.
That's
we will
right.
rise.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So, I encourage all of us to share any health tips or any information that you have through your experience that have gotten you to a certain point. We are at Nubian Sun. We are open to all information that is going to make us more whole. And so if you have something to share, give us a call. My website is, website, my email. I'm going to have a website someday, though.
Yes, you surely will.
Right? Email is omaciel@gmail.com. And my phone number is 340-227-7412. And we encourage all of us to continue in the light, continue in the healing processes, for we are in manifestation of our new world. Abolition of the old one and creation of the new one.
Of the new.
UCU.
Ashe.
Yes.
All right. Let's see what else we could share. There's so much.
There's
did
a
we
lot.
Talk about Guyana? You did mention that earlier.
Yeah,
briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a write-up about both Guyana.
There's
2 Guyanas actually in South America. One belongs to the French.
Yeah, French Guyana.
French Guyana, sorry.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
British Guyana. We used to call it British Guyana, but they've changed it. But Guyana is a very important country. You know, it's very important, and it's an excellent, extensive article in the newspaper this month on Guyana, and some of the history that it went through, and some of the current energy that it's developing through. You know, all over the world, indigenous people are fighting for their liberation, and the local indigenous people in Guyana and in South America in general are raising their heads and raising consciousness. You know, there's also an article about Morocco. You know, the history of Morocco. It's a brief article. You know,
And Morocco, for some who isn't aware, is located on the continent of Africa.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the very northwestern tip of Africa. Morocco was one of the first countries that acknowledged the Constitution of the United States. And in that recognition, it provided for the Moorish community, the indigenous melanated people community, you know, to be separated from the captives or our ancestors that they enslaved, right? Morocco in 1887 in the Treaty of Friendship designated that their citizens, certain Moors from Morocco, were to be not to be persecuted or not to be labeled as slaves or put into slavery. And by 1915 that had changed, and things, and all melanated people were put into slavery in a certain kind of way, you know. So, but Morocco is a very interesting country. You know, matter of fact, Sister Linda had visited Morocco about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, I believe. And she had some very positive things to say about it. The university, some of the university students were beginning to wake up and see some of the higher consciousness and moves that were being made all over the world.
Well, I do hope, I'm glad that she was able to, and I hope that others will be able to visit, if not return, to Africa, and definitely appreciate being there, and not only being there but supporting with the skills, the experience, knowledge-wise, that those of us who have been in this part of the world, we can definitely contribute in further developing the country.
Yes. And
the countries,
yes.
in Africa.
And hopefully, like you said, that it will be one continent. All the 54 countries will be one country at some point. Kind of like we would like the Caribbean to be. I kind of would like one country, the Caribbean, and we have a trade with Africa.
Yeah, and especially if it's holistic, because there are some are saying it's like what was it, one world order or what have you. It's the intention. What type of world are they really looking forward in us being as one? To me, it's on a very negative path with how those others are thinking. But for us, with the right thought, the right intention,
My heart.
yes, peace, love, justice,
Right.
we can be as one. But and yes, we have differences, but at least we can embrace our differences than just trying to destroy each other.
Yeah, embrace them, as differences and as
And just like the
talents.
elements, right? Because
Yes.
when the elements come together, work together. I mean,
Right,
each
right.
has its part.
Right,
It's
right.
different, but can work together with
Right.
with each other.
Right.
So yeah, that could be done
And together it makes a whole, and the whole is what determines the safety of all, and the progress of all, right? So certainly, this newsletter, like all the newspapers, this newspaper is very informative, and on the front page, our editor has chosen a article. I guess it is an article. Actually, it's a procedural and part of a workshop, on trust. Trust is so important these days because, well, it's always been important actually, but trusting yourself, trusting your good decisions, trusting your partners, trusting your relatives, trusting that the law of the Most High is going to work out through through what we manifest through our energy, and so, and it defines trust as being sure, deep down or in your heart, that there is some gift or learning in everything life brings, and that God's presence is always with you. When you have trust, you are never alone. And I found that to be so true, because when you have trust and you have trust in yourself, then you start to create, and you start to create things that are beneficial to yourself and others, right? But trust is having faith that the person or relationship without evidence, that is with that it will happen will happen. Yes. Trusting yourself is having faith in yourself to learn and to grow. When you trust, fear goes away. I wonder why fear goes away, Shalima, when you trust yourself. Do you have insight on that?
Well, especially when you, it's like earlier that you posed with meditation, some of the answers will be revealed, like things that you have questioned, and your ability to trust that you will receive the answers, and when the answers do come through, then it's more obvious to you that, okay, I can trust myself. I can, because it has shown, like the evidence has shown up, you know.
Your
So
experience,
therefore,
yes.
you will continue to trust yourself, and you won't have to be fearful because you know that what you ask for, you know, the answers will come, and that's an assurance.
It's an assurance, I hear you. You know, the information on this article, I really gleaned from George James in his book, The Stolen Legacy, and the 10 virtues that he outlined that he took from, I'm not sure where he got it from, but he did, from his research in Kemet, he gleaned these 10 virtues, right? How much time do we have?
About 9 more minutes.
Okay. Here are some of the practicing. Here are some steps in practicing trust. Believe, and in parentheses, know. Know there is some good in everything that happens. Now look at that. There are some religions that preach and teach that we were born in sin. We were born negative. We were born in a place that was against us. And certainly our ancient ancestors never believed that. And look at what they produced. Those monuments and all those great cities and all those great inventions that they produced to civilization, even just civilization alone, you know. So, again, know that there is good in everything that happens. And that speaks to the fourth virtue, which is fidelity. Faith in the ability of one's master teacher to teach the truth. Now, who is our master teacher? Where is that energy? Who is that person or energy? What is it? It's within you, your good self, your higher self. Everyone is born with, and some people call it the conscience. Your conscience, you know, you do something, you know, you did it deliberately wrong, and your conscience beats you up. They say you can't sleep. At least that's what happens to me. What happened to me, if I did something wrong, then that night, as I review my day, hey, I can't sleep. I'm tossing, turning, I'm trying to make amends through my thoughts. I'm trying to reanalyze what I did and how I did it and why I did it. And so, certainly, when the ability to assimilate the truth will keep you knowing that everything has a positive person. There's a positive a positive response. There's positive and there's negative. But if you look at the positive, trust the positive, you'll reap what you sow. You'll get what you're looking for. Right. I think I'll go to one more.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Number 7. Trust the process. The third virtue, steadfastness. Devotion of one's purpose. Devotion of one's purpose. And that kind of begs the question of, how do you know what your purpose is? You know, and so I know I was searching for my purpose for many years. You know, because as a young melanated person, black man, growing up in Alaska first for 8 years and then into urban centers, you really don't get a good glimpse of who you are because you're distracted by so many things around you. At least that's what it was for me. When I started to play professional baseball, I had to I got a glimpse at my ability and my talent and where I wanted to go. But when that didn't happen, I went back to school. Then I said, you know, what really is it that I really want to do? And I really want to help people. I really wanted to help the nation, right? So I started studying sciences, physics, chemistry, you know, biochemistry, because I needed to find out about some things within me, and I wanted to use techniques to help others grow our nation. I saw that our nation was so sick that we need endless healers. Mm-hmm. Really, we need thousands and thousands of them, really, honestly. You know. So, and then going to Mississippi and studying with my uncle, my great uncle, in the Choctaw Reservation, and that helped me to see flowers. You know, the colors of flowers. He taught me about flowers, and flowers are so important. Flowers and some mushrooms, right? Flowers and mushrooms are very important. They go to another place in space, certain kind of way. And maybe when you know, and another day we'll talk about that. I'll elaborate on that a little more. But certainly, as we grow, these principles of trust, these principles of the values of what George James is talking about in terms of the principles of living in life. Devotion to one's purpose. Seek for your purpose and be devoted to it. I'm certainly devoted to unity. I've been devoted to unity for a long time.
And healing? Did you say that?
Healing. Mm-hmm. Healing is unity. Once your body is, the seven systems are working in unity, then you can work with others in unity. Then you can demonstrate your gift. If you demonstrate your gift, then that's part of your purpose of life, part of your purpose in living. That's what Malidoma Soma says, not me. Malidoma Soma says, demonstrate your gift, and that's part of your purpose in life.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Well, definitely appreciate that, and encourage those again to visit our website. I don't know if we mentioned it, but where you can find May's copy of the newspaper, that is. You can find it on our website at www.ucu.webs.com, or on our Facebook page, go to Umoja Caribbean Union Inc. Departments. And once you're there, go to File and download your free copy. And any donations are accepted to Umoja Caribbean Union. In this effort, we definitely want to continue doing what we are doing and expanding. So please, you can send your donations via PayPal at our email address, which is umojacaribbeanunion@gmail.com. That's right. That's UMOJACARIBBEANUNION @gmail.com. So thank you so much for, we just got about 2 more minutes, for listening to us. And definitely, as we expand, we want to hear from you. We want to have communications with you wherever you are in this world. But you can still interact with us. As I said, there's a game here right on the May calendar page. So you participate, and if you win, you'll get a prize from us. So you see, we will communicate with you in that way too. All right?
And some of our sponsor members, right, will give you discounts for our membership that shows their ID card, right? Certainly for my organization, for A Nubian Sun, show your membership ID card and you get
A discount.
A high percentage off, a high percentage. You get, yes, and other members also. So we have benefits, and the benefits for the union. Remember, in order for us as a people, we are very social people. And when we pull our energies and lights and gifts together, we build monuments. We build civilizations. We build strong, strong families. And so that's what we are doing. Umoja, Unity, Caribbean Union. Umoja Caribbean Union. So work with us, tune us in, and we will work with you and tune you in so we can all be in together, right? So we can rise together, because when you're in and your consciousness is movement, we'll rise.
Indeed.
How's the sound go?
We will rise. I will say this much again. Be the best version of you. Get to know you, much, much better. Get in tune with yourself, and definitely you will be part of the rise. I would say that.
That's right.
All right. So thank you again for joining us on our Saturday Live. And tune in to us next Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. So stay tuned. Peace. One love.